how do engineers, they calculate the shed? You send the shed to them, hey, I have a shed that's 10 by 15, 4 meters high. I need you to calculate the frames for me. So the first thing that engineers do is we go to a program. It could be robot structural analysis, it could be SpaceGass, it could be SkyCiv, or many of the systems out there. And we start by defining the portals, like the geometry, and we define the supports. So for example, if it's going to be fixed or pinned, remember we discussed this already for the footings here. And then we apply the loads. So the loads that we apply are the self-weight of the material. We call it dead load. It's a dead load. And we have the live loads. So just simplifying here, it's imagine someone walking on the roof, for example. So we need to consider that. So the shed won't fail if someone decides to walk on the roof. And then we have our wind loads that they're generally the more representative ones. And depending on the shed, we have the snow loads and etc. So we're going to have these load combinations. That's pretty much saying, hey, I have the self-weight of the material, I have someone walking on top of it, and I have a wind. So once we have this, we run the structural analysis. Once again, there's a lot of mathematics and physical involved here. I don't want to overcomplicate, but we use, specifically in ShedMate, what we call a finite element analysis system that will give us all of the internal forces, displacements, and support reactions for that specific structure. And on the other side here, we have displacement. So you can see that in red. So that shed will have some sagging, there's some displacement that will happen, and we can identify based on these calculations how much that's going to be. So when you get all of those forces and the displacements, then we can assess these in different ways. One, we could check against ULS, which means ultimate limit state. So think of it as a safety check. It makes sure that your shed won't collapse under extreme conditions like strong winds, heavy snow, or maximum loads. So this is all about strength and stability. This is the first check. Another check would be the SLS. This is the Serviceability Limit State. So this is the usability check. So my shed will still be there. It won't collapse, but I don't want it to, buckle too much. Remember? So even if the shed won't collapse, you don't want it to bend, deflect, or crack too much under normal usage. SLS ensures the shed looks right, works properly, and lasts without issues such as sagging roofs, rattling cladding, and doors jamming.